Hey guys, in today's video I'm going to be telling you guys what you need to own a pet hamster. This is a really good video if you're going to get a hamster or if you already have a hamster but you want to improve your care. So let's get right into it. So firstly, you're going to need a cage. This was probably, you already knew it, but you're going to need a cage that's at least 450 square inches, but a lot of people prefer to aim for at least 800 square inches of floor space because hamsters really do need a lot of room to move around. I would recommend using either a 200 quart bin cage or a paw hut cage. Those are the cages I use. There are a lot of options that you can do for your hamster's cage. I'll show you guys a few right now. So these are some different examples. There the paw hut is, there's a Boot Cut State hamster cage, and then there's the Night Angel hamster cage. And then I put some different examples of bin cages up there as well as mine's mixed in there. And you can really have a lot of fun and be creative with your hamster's cages. You can decorate them any way you want and add a lot of personality to them. And that's like my favorite thing about the hamsters is you can just make their cage so fun and add so much to it to make it personalized, and it's really fun to decorate, so that's a fun perk to owning hamsters. The next thing you're going to need for your hamster is bedding. All hamsters need bedding because they are burrowing animals, which means they dig burrows in the ground and that's where they sleep in the daytime. You're going to make sure that the bedding you get is a safe bedding. Fleece is not okay for hamsters to have in their cage. You're also going to want to avoid any scented bedding like lavender scented bedding. Even if it's paper, that's unsafe. It can cause upper respiratory infections and can cause a lot of pain for your hammy. You are also going to want to avoid cedar and pine shavings because those can also be rough on your hamster's fur and cause respiratory infections because of the chemicals in them, so you're just going to want to avoid that. Some safe beddings would be paper-based bedding that's non-scented, aspen shavings, and also spruce shavings. You're also going to want to avoid any cotton fluff and fleece and stuff like that because if your hamster digests cotton or fluff, it can cause a blockage and kill your hamster, so avoid all that. Also, you're going to want to be careful about bedding depth. You need at least 6 inches of bedding, but 10 is preferred. Hamsters need a lot of room to burrow, and as much bedding as you can give is the best. A lot of people even go like to 20 inches. You're going to need a tall cage, but the more bedding, the better. Okay, so the next thing you need for your hamster is a suitable, safe hamster wheel. You want to make sure your hamster can spin it easily, control it, and can get off safely. I had some issues with my Robo hamster. He would always flip over. Secret I learned is the bigger the better, but you also want to make sure it's a smooth wheel and it isn't shaky because that can also not be good for your hamster because they might flip over on it. So what you want to avoid is wire mesh wheels. Those are unsafe for your hamsters, and instead you want to look for a wheel like this, a solid wheel. You could look at Night Angel or I think this is NutriPet or something, and also Boot Cut State has some good hamster wheels. You also want to make sure the size is good. Minimum size for a dwarf hamster should be 8 inches, and for a Syrian should be 10 inches if your Syrian is on the small side, but for larger Syrians, I would recommend 11 or 12 inch. My hamster Chai has a 12 inch wheel, and my dwarf Tater Tot has a 10 inch wheel. So the next thing we're gonna look at that you need to get for your hamster is food and water. So the water is a pretty easy thing. I recommend using bowls, not bottles, just because it's more natural for your hamster. If your hamster prefers bottles, just maybe offer a bottle and a bowl because bowls are just easier to drink out of. I have heard cases where the hamster won't drink out of the dish, but I have never had that happen. All my hamsters have been perfectly fine drinking out of the water dish. So I really recommend you have a dish instead of a bowl. Just make sure you refill the water once a day and keep the bowl clean. And if you have a bottle, make sure you're cleaning it out pretty regularly because it can get pretty dirty pretty fast. So make sure you're just doing a good job keeping up with the cleaning and refilling and giving your hamster fresh water all the time. Okay, and for your food, it's actually even easier. You don't even have to use a bowl for your hamster's food. A lot of people will put a bowl in just to add a little bit of food to it to make sure their hamster is eating, especially when you first get your hamster. But it's actually really enriching to just scatter feed your hamster. Scatter feeding is sprinkling your hamster's food mix around the cage, if you didn't know already, and it encourages them to forage for their food and to work for it just like they would in the wild. I really think this is what's best, and I do it for my hamsters. And yeah. And as for food mix, I'm not going to recommend anything in this video because I don't want to get anything wrong. I would probably go look up like a Victoria Rachel video or something. Share what I use. I use Missouri Rat and Mouse pellets along with Higgins Sunburst hamster food because that's just the easiest thing and the healthiest thing I found for my hamsters. But if you disagree, it's fine. You can figure it out for yourself. So Etsy has a lot of hamster seed mixes that are probably really good. I guess it really just depends on where you live because it's kind of hard to find certain things in certain areas. That's why I just stick with what I am doing now. Okay, now that we've covered that, let's get into the fun stuff. So now we're going to talk about hideouts for hamsters. So now that you've got your cage, you've got your bedding, you've got your wheel, it's time to start making the cage a little bit more homey for your hamster, more comfortable. You're gonna need hideouts because hamsters are prey animals and get scared a lot and like to have a place to go and hide. You can make these out of cardboard, as I did here, or you can use mugs for dwarf hamsters or a large one for Syrian. You can also use flower pots. You can use tunnels like that. You can use ceramic hides, like I have the lemon one and the mushroom one, or you can use plastic hides, like I have that little sand castle in the corner over there. Or you could also use even like tea light candle holders. I have that little gray one over there, and that one's like a tunnel one. And there's just so many different options for hideouts. There's a lot of things you can find online on Etsy, Amazon. There's a lot of things you can find at pet stores. Just make sure they're safe. You don't want like those edible hideouts that have that end up having like pine shavings in them. Just make sure everything is safe and also your hamster fits in it. Another great option would be a multi-chamber hideout. I actually made one for my dwarf hamster. I made one for Tater Tot, and I have one from Night Angel for my hamster Chai. So you can buy these online on Etsy or Amazon, or you could probably find them in pet stores in certain places. But if you're trying to do hideouts, I definitely recommend just looking into stores because you can find a lot of things just at like Target or Walmart. I found a lot of my hideouts for my hamsters in those areas. So definitely check out those stores when you go and you have the chance. I'll leave some of my favorite hideouts that I have linked in the description of this video, so make sure to check it out. Okay, the next thing you're going to need is some substrates because it is an enrichment to your hamster. It provides stimulation for their mind and also gives them something to do and play with. They can dig in it and they can also just forage for their food in it. It's another thing to sprinkle their food in and make it more challenging for them. This substrate here is corn cob bedding. It's really cheap. You can buy it at a pet store. If your hamster is eating it, you might want to take it out because it's not supposed to be eaten, but most hamsters are fine with it. A few other substrates would be, so I've already said corn cob bedding. We have Eco Earth, beach chips, cork granules, cocoa husk. You could also use like shredded cardboard cut into pieces. And if your main substrate is paper-based bedding, then you could have aspen like in a dish or something. Okay, so the next thing we're going to talk about is sand. All happy, healthy hamsters need sand unless instructed by your vet that your hamster should not have sand. It needs to be a safe sand. Some good ones would be Night Angel sand, sanitized children's play sand, Repti sand, but you want to make sure there's no added calcium because that's really dangerous for your hamster. You also want to make sure you provide a large enough sand bath. There's a lot of different containers you could use. You could use anything from the Dollar Tree or Target or Walmart, or you could get a sand bath on Amazon like a Night Angel one, but those can be a little bit expensive sometimes. I've also done it before where I've like cornered off a section in the cage and just filled it with sand. I've mainly done that for my dwarf hamsters because my dwarfs seem to enjoy sand a lot more than my Syrians. I'm wondering if that's like common or if that's just mine. Let me know in the comments if your dwarfs enjoy the sand more than your Syrians. I'd be curious to know. Also, here's a helpful tip. If you put a sand bath in, a lot of hamsters will actually use it as a litter box. Not all hamsters. Some hamsters will just go wherever they want. But hamsters are pretty clean animals, and they usually go in the same spot. So one of my hamsters only peed in the sand bath. Like, he would come up in the daytime to go pee in his sand bath, which was hilarious. But yeah, so that might be helpful for you. If you don't have a sand bath already, I would definitely recommend getting one, just because hamsters really do need them to live happy, healthy lives. It also cleans their oils on their coat and keeps them clean. And it's also a lot of fun for them to play in. Okay, the next thing I'm actually going to add to this list is something I do not have and I really think I need. This is hamster sprays. You can buy these on Amazon or Etsy and even at some pet stores, but in my area it's really hard to come by them, and that's why I don't have them. They're also so expensive online, like $20 for not even that many. That's the only reason I haven't had any recently, but I have in the past, and my hamsters really did enjoy them. There's a lot of different types. I would also recommend looking up a video of what hamster sprays are safe for them, because I don't have a ton of experience with them, but I would say it's a need. I've seen a lot of people say that it's just really good for your hamster. It provides a lot of enrichment. It makes your cage look so pretty. Like, I love the way hamster cages look. There is this hamster channel, KR Hamstery, and her hamster cages are absolutely beautiful, and I think the sprays add so much color, and I just love them so much. Okay, so the last thing you might want for your hamster are going to be some chew toys. Hamsters' teeth never stop growing, so it's always good to have some chew toys on hand. You can get these from Petco or PetSmart, Pets at Home, you name it, you can find chew toys. I also wanted to lump tunnels and like cork logs into the chew toys category, because I feel like that's more like toys and play. Definitely check the ingredients. Most chew toys are going to be safe, but if you're at a pet store, make sure to check the ingredients, because there might be like added things that make it not safe for hamsters. So yeah. You can even use like toilet paper rolls for your dwarf hamsters, and for my Syrian hamster, I actually cut 2 toilet paper rolls in half and just like put them together. There's toys like these apple toys and like loafa chews, which are really good for your hamster's teeth and also really fun. I also use apple sticks in my hamster's cages from my Poppy's farm. Cork logs are some of the best hamster toys. This is what I mean. I like cut them and glued them together with hamster safe glue, and my hamster has devoured them. Yeah, you can really use a lot. I have this little tree, like wood chew. It's just wooden and it's natural. And you can find a lot of really cute things out there. This is like a willow, a little mini willow ball, and Chai has destroyed it. There are really just so many options out there, and you don't even need chew toys if you have a lot of natural things that your hamsters can chew on in your cage, but they are just a fun addition if you want to have a little something extra in your hamsters' cages, and your hamster might really like them. So, and that was today's video. I hope you guys have learned something new, and now you know what to get for your pet hamster. I have a lot of hamster videos on my channel, so check them out if you haven't already. And also consider subscribing, because I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. We're currently almost at 600, so if you do subscribe, that's amazing. And also, videos are out every Sunday, so you'll always have something new to look forward to. And I also have a bunny, so if you like bunnies, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!